One of the most important components of English class is learning how to conduct effective research and present your findings. Today, you are going to refresh your memory on how to research and learn how to properly format that research into an MLA-style research paper. First, you need to know that there are 3 different ways to incorporate your research into your writing. While it is important to create your own understandings of what you have learned from your research, it is also important to support your claims with statements from other sources. The first way you can incorporate research is through a quotation. A quotation is a direct, word-for-word segment directly from the source. To use a quote effectively, you should always introduce it, as well as describe how it relates to and supports your claims in the following sentence. The next way you can research is with paraphrasing. This method involves putting a segment of an author's writing into your own words. The third way to incorporate research is by summarizing. Summarizing means condensing the main ideas of an entire piece of research into your own words, including only the main points. In all 3 of these cases, you must give credit to the author, including the page number where you found the information. By now, you have probably heard of plagiarism, which is the illegal act of taking someone else's ideas or work and passing them off as one's own. Plagiarism can be copying and pasting someone else's writing and not giving them credit. It can be downloading a pre-made writing assignment and handing it in as if you wrote it. It can be as simple as using research in your paper word for word and forgetting to include a citation. Plagiarism is a serious offense that can have extremely detrimental results, like being fired from a job, being expelled from a school or university, and even legal consequences like copyright infringement. You should always give credit when you are referring to or incorporating someone else's findings into your research. This includes information from sources like books, magazines, web pages, and interviews with other people, as well as other media resources like charts, diagrams, and pictures. You don't need to give credit if you are stating a fact of general knowledge, such as folklore, common sense, and historical events, or when you are referring to knowledge that you discovered in your own experiments, such as your observations and thoughts about a subject, or your own results from a lab experiment or survey. A tip to try is to mark your research notes with a Q for quote, an S for source, and me for your own insights. This will help you keep your record straight, so you can remember where each piece of your research came from. Remember, if a fact is not known as general knowledge, then that means you discovered it from research, and you need to give credit to whomever you learned it from. When using a quotation, paraphrase, or summary, you will need to include an in-text citation to give credit to the original source. There are 2 types of setup for in-text citations: stating the author's name within the sentence and not stating the author's name within the sentence. In both cases, however, you will still need to make sure the author's last name and page number are present in the sentence, whether embedded into the sentence itself or included in the parentheses afterward. MLA, which stands for the Modern Language Association, has some guidelines when it comes to creating research papers. Here are some points to help you format correctly. Use 1-inch margins all around. Use a legible font, such as Times New Roman, and use size 12 font. Your header, located at the top right of each page, should include your last name and page number. For your Works Cited page, which is the last page of your paper, you should remember these formatting guidelines. The phrase Works Cited should be centered at the top of the page. Your sources should be listed in alphabetical order, and you should use a hanging indent for your sources. Each type of source is formatted differently in your Works Cited page, but here are some general sources that you will probably be using: print sources, scholarly journals, and web pages. You can always use a reference guide to help you format your sources, especially if you are using a more unique source. A great website to use is the OWL English Purdue Writing Lab. It includes an up-to-date compilation of everything you need to know in order to use MLA formatting, as well as how to format every type of source imaginable. Now that you are in high school, you are ready to conduct and present your own research in a scholarly way.
Created using Powtoon.